Welcome back to episode 2 of A Backstage Pass. We're your hosts, Aubrey and Teagan. And would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I am James Hamilton, and this is my friend
Ben Weibel. Hello.
I'm the drummer for a band called Connie Hash.
And I play bass and vocals.
And who else couldn't be here today that's in your band?
We also have Valentine Tejeda, who, along with me, is a good old Chesterton alum. And then we have our buddy Zach Pierce, who actually did go here for a short amount of time.
No way, did he?
Yeah.
I'm also glad that you
For a very
pronounced
short
Val's
amount of
name.
time.
I had no idea that was how Val's last name was pronounced. So
That is-
I'm glad you handled that one.
Learning something new.
You're
all right.
welcome.
What instruments do you all play?
You already said.
Oh, yeah.
but-
Like I said, I'm the drummer. I do a little bit of percussion and stuff on the recordings, but I also sing for the band. So we kind of all sing. So Ben's the bassist. The other two guys are the guitarists. I'm the drummer, and we kind of all share singing duties.
Yeah, dealing with harmonies and all that. And then, Valentine's guitar, and then Zach is also guitar.
And how would you guys describe your band's sound?
Ooh, if we want to get into genres, we're kind of in that middle ground, I'd say, of you got emo elements, punk, post-hardcore, all of that kind of realm of stuff.
Yeah, I think the algorithm on my iTunes seems to put us very post-hardcore, but there's definitely a lot of emo influence there. If Taking Back Sunday was had a little bit of a heavier edge or something.
They were a little
something like
punker.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of going off of that, what bands or musicians have you guys drawn inspiration from?
Ooh, I've thought about this.
Yeah, I think you should probably handle that one.
A lot of my big inspirations are bands like Title Fight, Basement, Narwolves, Citizen, stuff like that. James over here is definitely a little...
I listen to a lot of other stuff. It's kind of cool. All the dudes in the band are personally into very different types of music. I think the love of emo rock and punk kind of brings us all together. But personally, I listen to a lot of jazz. I play in some progressive rock bands outside of this and stuff. So we kind of all have very different perspectives. And I feel like we try our best to bring it together to make a cohesive new thing. Hopefully, I'm listening to a lot of Lobby Boxer right now.
Just like your guys' sound, your name is also very unique and interesting, I'd say. How did you come up with the name of your band?
So that's a funny one. We were just kind of hanging out, messing around one day, and I'll have to omit a little bit of stuff just
Why's that, Ben?
Just for...
I actually don't know. Was I there for this? The band was already named.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the band was already named before I joined. There was a drummer before me, so...
So really, the long story short, we were just kind of playing around with names, throwing stuff out, being goofy. And one of us thought of good old Johnny Cash, and then just kind of switched the letters and was like, Connie Jash. And then we just kind of
Connie Jash? Wait,
why
did we stick with Connie Jash?
It just had a better ring to it. We kind of just fell on it, and it was funny, and we just kind of liked how it sounded. And
so really, there was no story at all. It was just total gibberish that they put together.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I love
This is
that.
just making dumb jokes.
Who was the drummer before you?
Well, kind of a few people, right? I mean, would you consider Colin recorded on the first album?
He just kind of helped us out.
So they found someone slightly better in me, I guess. So
Yeah. Yeah.
They were
just a little.
Just good enough. No, I don't know. I think, when it comes to playing instruments, everybody has a unique personality. And maybe not to say the old guy wasn't like good or not. I think when we all started playing music together, like our personalities musically fit together very well. So I think we kind of had like a instant click moment where we were like,
definitely in a recording sense, he could not play to a click.
It's hard.
And that was probably the biggest problem.
Yeah, there are some technical aspects to what you do when you record that I'm pretty familiar with. I've played music my whole life. I taught music, so I've been doing this thing on a semi-professional level for, gosh, how old am I? 20 years now? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So then how long ago did your band form?
We formed basically right around COVID shutdown times in 2020.
A lot of emotions to express during that time, right?
Yeah, just a lot of time on everybody's hands.
Yeah.
And kind of deciding that, well, if I'm going to see anybody, it might as well just be like a small group that like you can still do a little something, because...
And during that time, I feel like getting together with people and being creative, I mean, as long as, you were being safe and healthy about it, like, was one of the few outlets that I had during that time of, like, normalcy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think that was, in the weirdest way, that was kind of like a great time for, like, some creative growth, although, society was kind of going crazy. But.
What brought the members of your band together?
Well, you guys were basically all friends, right?
Yeah, I mean...
you guys had played together in other bands.
Me and Valentine have been in bands together since we were like 15. So yeah, that's a good 15 years ago as well.
I feel like that's usually the story, right? There's kind of like a core, which would be you guys.
And then around that point in time, too, is like how we met you, how we met
did you guys meet me
Zach
playing with Stop Drop Rewind? Or did you meet me playing with...
Yeah, when you were in Stop Drop. That's how we knew you.
Yeah.
And then Zach was in Crosstown.
That's right. Who I played with. I did a tour with them and a couple shows around here.
Yeah.
So the old guitarist that was in the band is actually someone I used to play with, and then the other guys in the band used to play with him in other things. So it was kind of through a mutual person who is no longer in the band that we all connected. But
yeah,
I mean, really,
because back in the day, we all just knew each other from playing shows together in different bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just kind of pursuing those links after a pretty significant amount of time.
Yeah, after that amount of time passed, it was basically well, who's still doing this on a serious level, and who at our age who is still actually trying to pursue this thing. So, as time goes on, people move on, they get jobs, they get married, whatever. Not that we haven't all done that too, but we're the ones that are still in the game, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's
were you guys in any bands before Connie Hash?
Yeah. I mean, well, like you said, you guys were in.
Yeah, because, back in the day, me and Valentine were in this band called the Drive-By Insults, which
love that name.
was the last time I did an interview here. We also did like an acoustic session in this studio.
Oh, we gotta have another one of those.
That would have been fun for us to do something.
I don't know if it's still floating around in the archives here or anything. That'd be real funny if it did. Withstand that test of time.
Maybe we come back sometime and we try to do something. If there's some way we could work that out, that would be a lot of fun.
I'm sure we can work something out for that. When did you guys start playing the instruments you play, and can you play anything else?
Oh my gosh. I play everything I can get my hands on. I'm not going to say I'm great at other things, but I do play. Like, I'm pretty good at guitar. I'm pretty good at bass. I can play some keys. I've played, like, literally just anything I can get my hands on. I used to even, like, have a banjo and practice that. But for whatever reason, when I was probably, like, 11 years old or something like that, I played drums for the first time. And there was just something, like, spiritually connecting about that particular instrument for me that I basically just knew right away I was going to play drums. I love music, so I do all the other stuff. Including the singing, which mostly comes from, I think, singing in the car. I'm like, oh, okay, like I can actually kind of do this. But the drums, there's just something like spiritually, emotionally that connects with me that I've basically been playing my whole life, but like started taking it seriously since I was like 11, and I'm 34 now. So, I don't know, you do the math. How many years is that?
Enough.
How about you, Ben?
My first instrument was actually drums. I got those, I don't know, how old are you in 6th grade?
Maybe like 11, 12?
That's when I got them.
Yeah.
Got them.
About the same time then.
Real crappy first little drum set for Christmas that year. And then I don't think I started guitar until maybe my freshman year, maybe 8th grade. Found a little like Squire Strat at a garage sale that.
So you played guitar before you played bass?
Yeah, I didn't start
feel like I
playing
should have known
bass basically until we started this band.
Was it like the scenario of like no one else wanted to play bass, so they were like, Ben, you gotta play
it was
bass,
a scenario of everybody plays a little guitar, and by no means
everybody does play
guitar.
a little guitar.
I'm really not. Like if I was to be a guitarist for anything, it'd be like hard rhythm guitarist. I can't palm mute fast. I can't do the fiddly diddlies. Yeah. I'm not good at those. So yeah, I mean, but that also influences how I play bass a lot. I like playing bass chords a lot.
Yes.
I'd slam on a bass like it's a guitar.
Yeah, you have some pretty unique approach to bass that as you say that, it makes sense to me that you play guitar first, because I can see you have like a more aggressive approach to bass that like comes through in your tone and stuff.
Yeah.
And the controversial that you play with a pick, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's that controversial.
I don't know.
There are definitely like bass heads out there that
I know a few, but
really care one way or another. But at the end of the day, it's kind of about like tone reasons and genre reasons, and you can skate by with that.
Amen.
Regarding Fiddly Diddlies, what is the name of your latest release, and where can people listen to it?
The latest release is Ellipses and I Lost My Head.
There it is.
So it's ... and I Lost My Head. That's an EP we put out. When did we put that out?
Like February?
Yeah, it was.
I think it dropped in February. It's everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music. It's not iTunes anymore, is it?
It's been out. It's on iTunes.
I think I've even seen it like on Pandora. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere
Yeah,
you can
basically
listen to
wherever
music,
you
can find it.
And I mean, that album, well, I mean, it's almost been a year since that's been out. So we're currently in the process of working out our first full-length album. No, like, dates yet for when we'll actually have that out, but we've gone through some lineup changes and stuff like that, and kind of like trying to come together creatively with some new people to like really deliver on the next record. So we're shooting to like have a full length album out next year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Big fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Maybe we end up with like a couple song promo or another EP or something, but the goal is a full length. The goal is a full length.
I hate the way that you look at me, like I've got all the answers. And it's funny, or at least to me, that you think I've any idea what I've been doing. 'Cause I don't know what well, I'm spent, and I've lost my head, and I don't have another single breath. Everyone is failing slowly, and I get there and digging deep inside my skin and in my stomach, drowning in uncertainty. If things got better, well, I hope they have, 'cause I can't last one more
From start to finish, how long did it take you to record your album, or on average, how long does it take to record an album?
That's an interesting question because there's so many different moving parts when it comes to recording. We choose to do it like drums first. So I basically recorded the songs to like a click and like scratch takes of the tune. So really it's just kind of me laying the foundation. It's like very, I don't know. I like doing that, right? Because then we have the drums there and the music can kind of be manipulated on top of it. So the drums themselves didn't really take that long to record. I think I knocked everything out in a day. I was with our now guitarist.
Yeah, I think you did everything in a whole day.
Yeah. It was a long day. It was like an 8-hour day, but for, I don't know, 30 some minutes of music, that's not really too bad. I came in knowing exactly what I was gonna play and basically coming into the studio, laying it down that day. But then beyond that, everything sort of has to be built from the ground up. So it's like you need a day for bass, you need multiple days for guitars, and then you need multiple days for vocals, and then whoever your audio engineer is takes their time editing vocals and adding all the extra little cool sounds. And we have like a few sound clips that sort of can join songs on the EP, and getting that all to be smooth and actually sound good takes some time. So I don't know, like from start to finish.
From start to finish, I mean, including just like leading on our adult lives and finding time
Yes,
and
'cause
getting
we
together.
do all work. So
It was probably a matter of like 4 months,
sounds about right.
probably start to finish, before we were like
Had some solid.
getting solid edits back,
Yeah.
being like, okay,
Deciding
maybe
what to actually
maybe
release.
something needs to come up here or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so kind of a while.
So then, to you guys, what was the highlight of this whole process?
Of like the recording process itself, or like putting out the album?
Yeah, all that.
I don't know. I love getting in the studio and laying down drums. I mean, for me, I can speak for myself. That's probably my favorite part, because there's just something like so cool about having like the permanence of being in the studio and really getting to like dictate, this is exactly what my part is going to be on this song, and sort of like putting myself out there creatively in this permanent way that's basically going to be like immortalized. You know, not to be too corny about it, but it is, you know, like
Yeah.
it's like a piece of yourself that you've given up that day, that you've worked towards, and now it's there for you to share and love with everyone that hopefully would also enjoy it. And I would say that's like my favorite part, is just like, yeah, like being able to contribute to like a creative conversation in the world of music. Corny answer, but
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I think it's there's definitely highlights through the whole process where you see like each little building block start to come together, and you start to see where this final product is actually getting to. And
that is
That-
cool, because
that-
it's
then
like
when
you
you
don't
get
know
in-
at first how exactly it's going to end up. You have like this idea of the songs or our sound or whatever you want to call it, and then as you're in the studio, it's sort of like it takes on a life of its own and
Yeah.
just becomes something. I don't know. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I always like when it gets to like vocal time, because all the instruments are pretty much done at that point.
Yeah.
So then you kind of just get to play around with things and
Do
scream
stuff
and
I
yell
couldn't sing
and
live, yeah.
try to
Yeah. Well,
make
you're
up
good at
weird
that.
harmonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most musicians draw like inspiration and ideas from their life and all that's going on around them. How do you guys find ideas and such?
Ben, I feel like as the vocalist, lyricist, you probably have a little more to say on that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as lyrics go, I definitely, I think there's something nice about being a little bit vague in, like, what exactly I'm conveying, just because it might mean some way to me, but it leaves things up to interpretation for anybody else to kind of feel their own way about something or take things their own way. And I mean, musically, it just kind of, you know, you get into a groove, so to speak, and, you know, maybe you're feeling real creative this week, and you write...
Lord, don't I know?
You write 3 whole songs, but it's really, at the end of the day, just like one instrument part and maybe some vocals, and then go, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah.
And kind of see where things can go from there.
I like the vague open-endedness of it too, because like even as a member of the band, it's not like Ben comes to me and he's like, oh, this thing happened in my life, so I wrote this song about it. I sort of get bits and pieces of the tunes as we're working on them, and like I sort of get to like develop my own like perspective on them that I'm sure is different than even what he intended. So
Yeah. Because, I mean, lyrically, there's maybe some bits and pieces that maybe I had, like, a specific thought in mind, but kind of at the end of it, it's just, where's my train of thought going?
were you gonna say like open to interpretation, like it's like I don't know. Ben has brain fog. Ask us the next question.
My brain fog. You know.
Do you think that being from Indiana has any way influenced your style or songwriting of your band?
I'd say
I'm
to
sure
some
it has.
degree. Yeah. How much? I mean.
Well, we sound exactly like the
really,
Red Hot
who
Chili
knows?
Peppers, so I mean, duh. I mean, it has to, right? Well, I guess what's obvious to me is that like Indiana, right, like has a very big like hardcore metal scene. So we all have like dabbled in that world. So I think there's probably an influence of like heavy, like a heavier edge to our stuff.
Yeah, because I think you're definitely more into more like technical heavy stuff.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Val is definitely
More like the hardcore and
yeah,
whatever
into
you
just,
guys
like,
call that.
Yeah, just a hardcore
Yeah,
beat
sure.
down type of
Beat down, yeah, that's what
yeah.
that's what the kids call
slam.
it. Yeah.
All of that.
They
kind
got
of
all these
stuff.
creative names. We used to just call it metal.
So in hindsight, do you guys have any goals for your band?
Be the greatest band in the entire world.
Love it.
Yeah.
Ambitions.
Well,
That's right. Specific goals, yeah. I mean,
Shoot for the moon. You know.
I just realistically, I just want to put out music that people like and enjoy. I like playing shows, so maybe like if people showed up to shows, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
But, you know,
at
if
the
we
end of
could
the
rule the
day,
world.
if people just kind of liked what we did and we got to just be genuine about everything we're doing.
This concludes another broadcast.
We do have aspirations of like touring and
WDSO,
stuff
an
like that.
effective
Like we are
radiated
trying to
power,
do,
200 watts,
you know, the
and
big boy band
broadcast
thing for real.
88.3 megahertz on the FM
But
dial.
I don't know.
WDSO
I guess
studios
we
and
try not to like
transmitting
put too
facilities
much pressure
are
on
located
ourselves
at
as far
2125
as
South 11th Street in
specific
Chester.
big goals.
Once
like
again,
that.
we would
As
like
long
to
as you
thank
like
a
our
number of
music, that's
contributors
cool
who
with
have
me.
helped with the daily
Yeah.
operation of this
I think
station.
it's smart
These
not to put too much
contributors
pressure on
are
yourself because that could
Green Moon's
affect the
Fiberworks,
music or
Surgeon's
it
Auto
could put
and
strain
Truck
on the
Repair,
relationships to
Avixia
the band.
Cave,
So
Trusty
I think
Spot
it's
Records
very
and Tees,
smart not to
Mission
do
Escape,
that.
Anton
Um,
Hearst
But next
Orthodontics,
question,
Val's
do you
Famous
think
Pizza and
you
Grinders,
learned anything
White
important
Love
about
Funeral
yourself
Home,
or
Porter
the music
Bank,
business
Haynes
while writing
Collision,
and recording
Third
your
Coast
album?
Spice Cafe, Data Graphic, Table Flip, Smith Legal Group,
Oh, man,
Broadway
I don't know.
Soft Wash,
Just,
Hopkins Ace
I'd
Hardware,
say
Lemon Tree Mediterranean
more or
Grill,
less just
Trout Glass and
in
Mirror,
the
Kid Bridge
years
Designer,
of
CPA, Red Cup
being
Cafe,
in
Edmonds and
different
Edmonds Funeral Home,
projects
Dean's
that
Tire and Auto, Greg
recorded,
Babcock, Attorney
and
at
then
Law, Bozovich Wellness Center,
I think
Chesterton
this
Feed
last
and Garden,
EP
Arrested
that
Sounds,
we've done,
Shelton
we
Fireworks,
all
Tim Hawk,
have kinda
Joseph
really
Szymanski, CPA,
done
and the
some of
Chesterton
this
Tribune.
stuff for long enough
WDSO will
that
continue
we
to
kind
broadcast
of
music
knew
through the night. The members
what
of WDSO
we're really
thank you for
looking to
listening
get
to our
out
sta-
of it.
The 5 p.m.
and
hour of music is
kinda
brought to you
just
by
knowing what
Val's Famous
we're
Pizza and
doing
Grinders,
a
your
little
locally
bit
owned and operated
better.
hometown pizza parlor, serving
I
pizza,
think,
sandwiches, wings, and more.
Like, as far as the question, like, did we learn about ourselves or anything about like the industry? I don't know. As like when people talk about like the music industry, you know, as like independent musicians and artists, like we basically are just doing all of this by ourselves. Like we put our own money forward, we record our own stuff, we put our own stuff out there, we organize our own shows, you know. So like the learning about the music industry aspect is kind of a tricky question because I don't think we're like embedded enough in whatever the industry is to really speak on that. But it does change my perspective about, like, you know, working towards a goal for yourself and, like, what you can actually do if you get, like, the right people together and actually have, like, a team of people with a vision and you pursue it and you can actually, like, put some good music out there and reach some people. I don't know. I don't know if I learned anything really, but
Yeah, because definitely as far as like business side, it's like a lot of bands make jokes at the end of the day. Just, you know, it's almost like we're glorified T-shirt salesmen.
quite literally, yeah. That's the. We don't make money off the music at this point. I don't even know if big artists really make that much money off their music itself. So yeah, like,
unless you're getting in the, you know, Taylor Swift billions of streams and
they
stuff,
make that
you're
much
not
money off
making
their music though. I think maybe they're
Yeah.
just better at selling T-shirts than we are.
Yeah, because being independent and like we don't have any, you know, label behind us
Right.
offering to pay for recordings or re-up on shirts or anything like that. So it's really just
So if you're out there and you own a label and you're looking for a post-hardcore emo band, hit up Connie Hash.
we're here.
So you guys are interested in going into business. Do you think that's like better for the future of Connie Hash, or do you think staying independent?
It depends on what it is. I know enough people who have kind of like gotten some label recognition or even worked with some people in that world, and it doesn't necessarily always turn out to be the best thing. You know, like, I think we're open-minded about anything that would come our way, but like, we're just trying to be like careful and pragmatic and stay true to like what we actually want to do. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because really, at that point, you're really looking at like all of this headache, paperwork, legal stuff.
yeah, we're a punk band.
and
We don't want to do paperwork.
we don't know about any of. We don't have a manager. We're not.
Yeah. We are the manager.
Maybe finding somebody who would be willing to manage us in the
Would be
next
a good
year
next
or
step.
so
Yeah,
would
yeah.
probably be
Yeah.
the logical next step.
So, does Connie Hash have any upcoming shows that you guys can tell us about?
We have one show booked for the rest of the year. What is that, December 27th?
December 27th at the Beat Kitchen in
Beat
Chicago.
Oh, that's with our buddies in
East Moon.
East Moon, yeah. I love those guys. We met them playing out at that brewery that's like in Gary. What is that place called? 18th Street? Wait, what is it?
No. Foreign Local.
Oh,
It's in Hammond.
yeah. I was way off.
Foreign Local. In
Great guys,
Hammond.
great band though, and we kind of like ended up doing a weird like weekend run with them. We played 2 gigs with them, like in I don't know a short amount of time, whatever. So those guys are going to be there, and I think are they
Our
putting
buddies
out new
in
music?
Illusion of Choice are also there.
Yeah.
Eastwood's in the process of putting more stuff out right now.
Yeah, so also check them out. They're really good.
Yeah, Beat Kitchen.
Beat Kitchen,
December 27th.
I-
It's a 17 and up show.
Oh man, wanted to go to that.
Until next year, I guess.
One more year, we'll book the same show the same day. You
All right,
guys
thank
gotta
you.
go.
Yes, we will.
Trying to find more all ages venues around here.
Yeah,
is
definitely.
a task.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like most places around here are for, especially like, places that people come to like gather around are for more adults than they are for
Yes.
Yeah,
underage.
there's a lot of 21 and up bar scene stuff. And then at the same time, you don't want to get pigeonholed into that
The
as
bar
just
scene, yeah.
being a bar band.
We did do the one show at Valparaiso Front Porch. It's like a little music school, and they do all ages shows there. So maybe we'll have to hit them up and hook something up there because they do pretty cool all ages stuff.
We also did that Trusty Spot Records here in town.
Oh yeah, that place was great.
It's so, I love that
With our
place.
buddies in
It was
Moraine.
great. Would they literally just let us play like out on the street? So we had like strangers come and hang out. And
Did you see their cats they have in there?
Yes.
They're so cute.
Yes.
There were cats?
I love
What?
their
They're
shop
cats.
They've got shop cats. It's awesome.
I love that that's like becoming more normalized. I do love that. No, I think I missed the cats. I don't know how I missed that.
This does not have to be a direct band influence, but what have you been listening to lately, and what draws you to them?
I already kind of said I've been listening to a band called Lobby Boxer. They're also like similar post-hardcore emo-esque with like a little bit of like prog rock, some kind of like weird time signature stuff happening. That's like what's been spinning nonstop on my radio. I get like super obsessive where I'll just listen to the same thing like every single car ride. So I have the album totally memorized, but next week it'll be something totally different. So
Yeah, I mean, I kind of delve into all kinds of different stuff. I've been listening to a good bit of Trapped Under Ice lately, but
love that name.
that's getting into like hardcore stuff. On the punker side, there's like Pears and like a Wilhelm Scream.
I've never heard of any of this, by the way.
I was delving a little bit more into Hers lately, which I actually heard of from here.
Oh.
And then, yeah, that's just like some bedroom pop, like
Yeah.
sad stuff.
Yeah, Ben likes his sad music.
Your guys' music sounds like something my dad would listen to.
Oh my gosh.
I swear.
My
I've
dad,
heard
First
him
of all,
before.
my dad
thank
said the
you.
exact same thing.
Tell your dad to hit us up.
I will. I'll tell him
Okay.
to come to the show.
How old's your dad?
I think he's in his. I think he's 40 now.
Okay.
Is he above 17 is the question.
Yeah, that's our,
Yes,
that's
he
our
is.
age
Fair.
group. That's what we're shooting
That's-
for. That's great.
That kind of works.
Okay, but why do you say that?
Because he listens to a lot of music that I think is very similar to Connie Hash's and what you guys listen to. So I'll have to
Cool.
recommend you guys to him.
Yeah, definitely. Please.
If you were to pull out like a couple of band names that you know he likes,
Yeah.
what?
Let's see. He liked Korn, Rammstein.
Ooh, Korn was like my first favorite band.
Yeah, he liked Rammstein. He's really into that, like Korn and all of that. Rammstein, he always
Oh, yeah.
comments on that whenever I'm doing my German homework or something. Like
It's funny
commenting on it.
when you asked me to do the mic check earlier and we did the ABCs.
I heard that.
I almost did the ABCs in German. I was gonna, because I used to love Rammstein too, so that was like one of the weirdest reasons I ever decided to take German in school. I don't know.
Oh man, do either of you take German here?
I do.
Is Frau Bartels still here?
No.
No. Wow. Good old Frau.
The German teachers are always the best ones, aren't they?
It's we have Herr Knopf and Herr Martinson. And Herr Martinson
Yeah.
was actually here at WDSO.
Little shout out.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Shout out.
So speaking of families, is there anyone who's been extremely supportive of your musical career or impactful in any way, like in your formative years?
My family is super supportive of me. I mean, my mom particularly. My wonderful mother has always supported me making terrible noise in her house since basically before I can remember. So she got me all my first instruments and gave me the grace to make terrible sounds in her house and then invite my friends over to make even louder terrible sounds until like one day eventually I think I like came downstairs or from outside of the garage playing music and she was like, hey, you guys actually sounded pretty good today. So, from that moment on, I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same for me with all of that. Parents were, when you're a child, it's not like you have money to go out and buy instruments. So, yeah, you just kind of learn on some secondhand cheap stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
if you start to get a little decent, maybe it's time to upgrade.
Yeah, so it sounds
Plenty
like
of
we were
support
all
from all
pretty
sides.
supported. Yeah, I think that's important.
Love to see that. Do you have any favorite songs off the album, and what can you tell us about it, and why is it your favorite?
My favorite song is the last song on the album. It's called Wdso. I think the song is just so fun. I think that it's catchy. It's very like kind of punk rock, but like in maybe more of like, and Ben might be offended that I say this, but it kind of gives me like Green Day vibes.
Definitely when I wrote that, it had more of a like a Bouncing Souls type of
Okay, that's
feel
fair,
to
that's
me. Like a little more of that like melodic, upbeat.
See, that's so funny because this
fun.
is like what I was talking about, where it's like you can bring something to the table, and then I sort of hear and influenced by things that maybe he didn't even intend. So
Yeah.
then it's like I love that song because it feels so fun, and like my drum parts were very inspired by like some of my early days of like learning like Green Day songs. Like I'm pretty sure I just like ripped a couple parts from Green Day like for that song. So I think also like
Learning
as far
how
as,
to play a basic punk beat again.
yeah, and then me thinking I'm being creative later on, but really I'm just totally stealing someone else's stuff. And I think that song is like the song I would show people first because I think it's like a very approachable tune. I think it's catchy enough that people get it. They get what we're doing, and they kind of get like how we're supposed to sound. I don't know if that makes sense.
I would agree there.
You have a different one that you
I also like Fading Out a lot.
yeah, which is the one we chose to do as the first single.
Yeah.
So that makes
And
sense.
it definitely is one of those that, aside from Waste Away, it's a little more like group vocally the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a different sound than the rest of the EP, which I think makes it stand out a little bit.
All the songs are kind of different than each other. There's something cohesive about them, but when you look at them individually, they're all so different. I forgot what the original question was, I guess, but like Waste Away is the song I would show people, but my personal favorite song on the album is Vibe. Because you made me think of that because you were talking about the vocals and stuff, and just the way I think all of our vocal performances come together on that song is just like so good, so solid. There's just something about it. That's my favorite song from it.
Between like your singles and your albums, which ones do you guys prefer to write over the other or do over the other?
You mean like to perform or like when we're writing?
Whichever one. You can answer both of those or either one. Just in general, I guess.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a hard question to like kind of wrap around.
You can just say like which one's your favorite to perform overall.
Yeah, as far as performing, it's pretty much anything off this last EP like I'm here for.
It's weird for me, I guess, because like the new stuff, it was me on drums in the recording, so I try to like play the songs kind of as they're written and like, you know, get the performance down. So it's basically more or less the same thing every time. Whereas like the old stuff, I think maybe I have a little more fun playing like Not Convinced because I can kind of put my own stamp on it a little more. Like I have a little more freedom in like playing whatever I feel like playing in the moment because
you can just kind of flare it up a little however you want because they're so ingrained in us at this point.
And yeah, those songs, we've been playing those songs the longest, so I do like to play those live. But then I also do, I would love to start playing our new stuff. I mean, I think that's probably the real answer to the question is like, I think we're both always itching to get new stuff
music
out. Yeah, so that would be the most exciting thing is like writing new stuff, getting that to a level where we can actually perform it to share with people.
Yeah.
So now for a fun little question for you guys. If you could form a 5-piece band with any other musician in history, who would they be?
Wait, do we have to be in the band or
Yes.
are we just
you have to be in
forming
the
a
band.
5-piece band? All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna play drums and you're gonna play bass. So it's a 5-piece
Well, I don't
band.
think you have to include.
You don't have to include each other.
I don't have to include him.
No.
Oh man.
I mean, it can be anybody
Well,
from
I'm definitely
history,
not
so
gonna include
anybody.
him.
But
Yeah, there's much better people than me.
To be honest, I don't even know where to begin with that question. Like I could name so many people I would love to play with, but
Start a super group like Boston.
yeah. How about Primus just hires me to be their drummer? I'll take that.
They're looking.
They're
looking.
Oh, trust me, I know. But they're only a 3-piece though, so maybe add 2 more guys. Add like a shred guitarist and somebody who's good at keys. I don't know. I don't have any specific names, I guess, to pull out.
Yeah, I really have no idea. That's such a. Let me take like Eric Clapton and Ringo and
Eric Clapton and Ringo.
and
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix. And,
So basically, the Beatles. You want to be the Beatles?
No, Ringo's the only Beatle I want.
Hey, Eric Clapton was the 5th Beatle. He was the unofficial one.
Was he really?
I don't know. That's what
it
my
was
dad
spilling
used to
secrets.
The Beatle of our heart.
Yeah, I don't know.
say. That's a hard question. Yeah.
So for the end of our interview, would you guys like to remind us again the name of your band and where listeners can listen to your new stuff and about any upcoming shows you have?
We are Connie Hash. You can find our music anywhere. Follow us on Instagram. We're on Facebook.
iTunes, Spotify, YouTube.
Everything. Our next show is December 27th at the Beat Kitchen, ages 17 and up.
Is there a cover for that show?
Yeah, I think it's 15.
Yeah, maybe check it out. We posted the flyer and stuff.
I don't remember
online,
if we can say how much things cost on here. That was
$10
a rule
million.
back in the day. That I don't know.
Well, it
But
might
yeah.
cost money. So find us on socials. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And then, we post the flyers and whatnot. So you'll see the information if you are really interested. You can find us.
Okay, so that is going to conclude our Connie Hash
All right.
interview. The rest of this hour, or whenever this plays for you lovely listeners, we're going to be playing you guys some Connie Hash music that they have so graciously given us.
You're welcome.
So if you could pick one track to play on WDSO, which one would it be and why?
We disagree on the answer.
Yeah, we
for
kind of
this.
talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I think Fade would be a good one, and
I think
you
Waste Away
definitely
would
think
be
it
the
would
good
be
one.
Waste.
So I don't know if we have enough time
But
to play both, or you could spin the whole thing.
I've got
it
the
doesn't
whole
matter to
EP.
me.
I do
It's like
believe-
15 minutes.
I do
Yeah.
believe there's a beginning and an end to this interview, and maybe we can play one before and one after.
Okay,
Is theirs?
that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Compromise.
Yeah. And then we could have both of our songs. We'll both be happy with that. So
Cool.
The whole EP is like only 30 minutes or something like that.
It's like
so
15 something.
yeah.
It's
So
not
see,
long.
yeah. So it's
overshooting it hard.
yeah. You could listen to it 3 times on your drive to work. So
We'll play as many as we can, maybe sprinkle some in when we have our
Yeah.
shifts.
So thank you guys for coming in for our second interview for Backstage Pass.
thank you for having us.
And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yay. Oh my God,
Cut it.